San Francisco, California just went full minority report on us. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Guys, I just watched the video. And it's a video about San Francisco, California and their new policing strategy. I think this is gonna spread fast. As soon as certain counties or cities have it within their budget, I think this is going to be a new thing. They are literally using drones now. And I don't think this is going to be that expensive. But I think it's going to be very successful. Those of you that are out there criming it, doing whatever you're doing out there in the streets, breaking laws. I literally watched the drones. Somebody they robbed an old lady. The call went in. Boom. The drones went up. They got the vehicle, started following the vehicle. These guys jumped out of the vehicle, tried to go on foot. You can't run from the ghetto bird, right? We all know once the helicopter's above you, it's a wrap. Might as well stop running, right? Now there's drones. I don't know how high up they are, so I don't know that these guys knew that the drones were on them. But this is a whole new level. I'm telling you guys. I've been telling you guys for a while now, for years. The streets ain't where it's at. You are not going to make good money on the streets. You're definitely not going to make good enough money to sit for 10, 15 years in prison, bragging about what you did 10 years ago on the streets, doing absolutely nothing behind them walls. And it ain't easy behind them walls. I've said it before. I'll say it 1,000 times, 1,000,000 times. But one of the dangerous things about this, at least for the crooks, right, for the criminals, is when they haven't realized that their police department and their city has implemented these drones in order to fight crime, what's going to wind up happening is dudes are going to be doing things in the neighborhood, the drones go up, and if they're not aware they're up and they're watching them, when they do something, they're going to go hide out at a pad. Now that pad is going to be flagged, that pad's going to get raided, whatever. But they're going to come knocking. You can't get away, but in the process, you're giving up, maybe accidentally, you're bringing other people in. Because keep in mind, if somebody doesn't know the drone's following them, and they go to maybe their homeboy's pad, right? I know in my neighborhood there was 2 families, one main one, but if you were on the run, you could stay with them. They'll feed you. They'll take care of you. You know, it wasn't that they were like wanting you to commit crime. They didn't want to see you in the streets. They didn't want to see you hungry, right? It's a good family. And I'm sure there's a lot of neighborhoods that have families like that in the neighborhood, right? So somebody commits a crime, doesn't know the drone's in the air. They go to that pad. Police come knocking. The mom says, there's nobody here but me. She can be charged. She has no idea the drone's up there. She's not a criminal. She's taking care of a family friend. You know, there's a lot of people in the neighborhoods that like to say the cops just jack people up for no reason. I used to say that. But I was justifying the bullshit that I was doing. And when you have people with that mindset and the cops come knocking, they're going to stick to, these cops are probably just messing with them. He's not here. Not realizing they just committed a crime. They're harboring a fugitive. They're aiding and abetting after the fact. And there goes your homeboy's mom, or maybe your own mom, or your tia, or your homeboy's tia. Now you possibly have beef with your homeboy for dragging that family member in, right? Wow. I'm telling you, as I was watching the video, I was just thinking of all the ramifications of having drones in the air. And I'm actually kind of surprised that it took this long. Maybe it's the technology is so good now that that's why they're going to use it. But like I said, I literally watched an entire crime unfold, the chase. And we usually, we catch the tail end of it, the police chase, But this was like right when the call was made, boom. Guys, get a job. I'm telling you right now, go to school, get a trade, get a job, man. Your last name is way more important than the name on the street sign, than the name of your neighborhood, your barrio. I keep saying, man, there are gangs and barrios in California that are over 100 years old. There's nobody that decided to be a gangster that has a success story. The only ones, and people were saying, "Oh, well, this person's successful and that person." You know why? Because they got away from the streets. They participated in the streets until they realized that ain't where it's at. So they were no longer a gangster when they became, an entrepreneur or whatever it was. So why not cut out the middleman? Skip being a gangster or a criminal, become that entrepreneur, be successful, and represent your last name and your neighborhood that way. Be that story. Yeah, I came from this neighborhood, but you know what? I realized that wasn't for me. I saw so many of my family members and friends and my friends' family members go through hell, get killed, get incarcerated, and I realized that wasn't for me. So instead, I did this, and that. Be that example. Growing up, we had the examples of, again, I'm old. I'm 52 years old, right? So we didn't have the internet and all that. We knew who the craziest dudes in the neighborhood were. We heard the names of the craziest dudes of our rival neighborhoods. And you aspired to have your name be the one that people were talking about in whispers, right? No, man. Nowadays, be that dude, be like, damn, you hear the homie's fucking brother? You hear about him? Now, what happened? This was a millionaire. What? Yeah, he invented or he went to school and he did whatever it is. Be that example. If not, they got some drones waiting for that ass. I'm just trying to help you guys out, man. Crime is not where it's at. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them. I'm out of here.